Savage Dragon 59 from March of 1999. Dragon is back on the cover after missing for about 10 issues. So let's see what's going on inside. First, the credits. Erik Larsen writes and draws. Chris Eliopoulos letters. Ruben Rude colors. And Josh Ekorn has a polyp on his neck the size of a canned ham. We jump into the story in medias res, which is a pretentious way of saying in the middle of shit. Looks like Dragon is back to his old self, fighting super freaks in Chicago, and he's rejoined the SOS. He's got Jennifer with him as well, and they beat the shit out of this goofy bastard named the Big Fish, and then they suck face to celebrate their victory. One quick Easter egg. You can see both Nova and Wolverine knocked out in the background of this panel. So Larsen is kind of throwing a little cameo from a couple of his other books. More on that later. So in this issue, it's a pretty massive time jump from the last issue. About 6 months have transpired since issue 58. And the events of that issue are in this page right here. So Dragon and William, both alive, naked in a graveyard after being split from each other by the mystical wizard Fonti. And William and Rita are reunited. And Dragon moves in with Jennifer. And thus begins their romantic relationship and the domestication of the dragon. So while he has a child of his own that he's unaware of, this is kind of the first time we see Dragon as a surrogate father and having to be responsible for a child. So this issue kind of serves multiple purposes. It's a jumping on point for new readers. We've ended a complex story arc, and it's time to reset all these characters, reintroduce the main character who's been missing since issue 50, and move the pieces where Larsen wants them to be. So he's got an agenda that's going to become apparent in the next couple issues. And this particular issue does a lot of the legwork to get the narrative set up. Larsen is jumping forward in time quickly and using these caption boxes with Dragon narrating the story to get all the necessary exposition out of the way. But that is not to diminish the storytelling, because this is like one of the most effective issues in regard to character building. Dragon and Jennifer and Angel feel like a real family by the time you get to the end of this issue. It's pretty incredible comic book making. So one detail on this page, it's Christmas, and Dragon is wearing this sweater, and fans notice that that's the same sweater that Alex gave Dragon as a Christmas gift way back in issue 34 with Hellboy. That's kind of cool. And we basically we kind of finish where we left off with Dragon and Jennifer kicking butt in the current day and agreeing to fight crime again in Chicago for the Special Operations Strike Force. It's a pretty solid issue. I'll deal with this cliffhanger in the next episode. On to Fanatics. So first, the bad news is Ninja Turtles is canceled. Image Comics will no longer publish the Turtles after issue 23 due to poor sales. So funny enough, this week on this channel, I reviewed the new Ninja Turtles comic from IDW, which is really solid. So even though the Image series dies in 1999, the Turtles live on to this day in some quality comics that are on the shelves 26 years later, just like Savage Dragon. So most of these letters are fan reaction to issue 57, which was a strong issue. But there's more than a few letters that reference the fact that Larsen is working on not one, not two, not three, but 4 comics at this very moment. That's right. He is writing both Aquaman and Wolverine for Marvel and DC. And his newest series, Nova the Human Rocket, is set to premiere. So literally like all these titles would be on the shelf at this point in 1999. So fans are concerned that Larsen would be stretching himself too thin and that the quality of Savage Dragon would suffer as a result of that. But Dragon dismisses these concerns. And it looks like lots of Finn addicts are reading these other stories as well, because they're writing into the letters page of Savage Dragon to complain about the artwork on Aquaman. Wild times, but that will not last forever. Larson has already started to criticize the collaborative process of corporate comics, and he's definitely preferable to being in control of all aspects creatively. Let's see. Also mentioned is the weekly ongoing strip that Larson is producing for the Comic Shop News. So this is like a weekly news publication that was given away in comic shops. And Larson produced these one-page comic strips of original material in every issue. And it states here that he'll be collecting all these strips into a single comic. Issue 64 of the regular series will be a collection of all the Comic Shop News strips. So, but we just said this guy is busy with 4 different titles, and now he's doing a weekly strip, so it's pretty crazy. On to the backup features. Dragonbert and Brainbert, still a fan favorite. These pinups are pretty great. Chris Eliopoulos on the left, Ruben Rude on the right, the colorist and the letterer, getting some shine here, showing off all their skills. Then there's the Megaton Man backup feature, where Megaton Man is interviewed by Gower Goose. And I think Don Simpson is taking shots at Gary Groth from the Comics Journal. Then we end with the Desperate Times strip, and the boys go to the public library. So that's a pretty good place to leave it. Say adios to the Turtles. Say hello to the 60s. Issue 60 next week.